The season is changing and fall is up on us. What a great time to do potato soup. I know potatoes have a bum rap in high carbs, but this soup is very special. It's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, and it's my European potato soup. Hi, my name is Monika Czerveniak with Fearless Cooking. If you're new to my channel, would appreciate it if you subscribe or share or like. Let's get going. I'm having here some olive oil and I cover the bottom with it. I also have here about 3 potatoes. It's about a kilo of potatoes. You want to make sure that this is getting hot. They're a little bit wet, because you have them in cold water. Do a little bit at a time. What we want to do is make sure that we have a great sauteing going on here. So, as you can see, there's some foam going on here from the potatoes. The sugar is coming out. So we're lightly caramelizing the potatoes, which are white. And now I can just sort of getting transparent almost. And then it's time for us to put the spices in. Of course, we're starting off with some salt. Be generous with your salt, especially if you use sea salt. And keep stirring every time you put something in it. I got some marjoram, which really gives that soup that very special taste. You can also use fresh marjoram if you like, but then you would put it in the end. You could also use some thymian. I'm going to use some dill that I have on hand. Again, just use what you have. Create your own. This is what Fearless is all about. See what you have. Use the items up in your house. Okay, as you can see at the bottom, it's getting more and more and more. Kind of that's all coming off once I'm putting my stock in. Now what I also like is nutmeg. This is just perfect. Nutmeg really gives this a very special flavor, earthy flavor, and I prefer using a whole nutmeg. And this one I just got a quarter of it, but instead of dry nutmeg that really doesn't have much taste. Now what we're doing is we're doing a little bit more time like this. Ooh, it smells delicious already. The herbs are fabulous. Now this is not a curried up soup. It's not a baby food type of soup. Even though classic cuisine, they curry it up, I like it to be a hearty soup. So now we're going to add some stock. I happen to have some chicken stock. If you have vegetarian stock, vegetable stock, any kind of stock is good. But if you add a stock into your vegetable, the best way would be to make sure that your stock is heated and not ice cold and pour it in. Gives it a little bit of a different flavor. I'm just going to add my stock here that I heated up. Can you hear that? I'm not using all of it yet. And now I want to make sure that at the bottom of this, I'm getting all that goody stuff loosened up, and it will loosen up more and more. Now we're going to bring this to, not really to a boil, just put it on medium heat for about half an hour. Keep stirring. Keep maybe adding more stock. At this point, I would like to just cover my potatoes and just let the potatoes develop themselves. So it's been about 15-20 minutes. I put a lid on it. This is what's happening here. It's a little bit on high. And now what I'm going to do is put some garlic in. I'm going to grate the garlic in. And one good way to do, you peel your garlic, just hit it, and then there you go, just peel it. So I'm going to use my microplane, and if you don't have one of these, you can just chop it up in thin pieces. We'll taste it later on. We're also going to curry up some raw potatoes, and then we'll thickening the soup with my raw potatoes. So the consistency of the soup right now is a little bit thin. It will get a little bit thicker, but we are going to thicken it with grated potatoes or curried potatoes. So I got some raw potatoes here. I kept one back. I'm just going to puree it up. There's a raw potato puree. And we're going to add this to our soup. Don't want to waste anything. Wasting food is really a crime nowadays. Should always make something out of something before you throw it out. Unfortunately, in North America, we throw a lot of food out. Our food waste is astronomically. So here you see how it's already starting to thicken. You can see it. See the difference already? Just with the magic of a potato. How good is that? Now we're going to give this a little bit more time. Not time in spice, time in clock. Ah, it's gorgeous. Look at that. So let's have a look what we got going here. Look at this, beautiful potatoes, gorgeous. I still want it a little bit more silky, and this is what I usually do. Take a little bit of your soup without the potatoes, preferably. And then what we do is we're going to add some kefir. Kefir is a fermented, this one particular, you can get it in regular milk, but this is a fermented goat milk, so dairy-free. I'll put a little bit in here. This will make it very nice and smooth. And the reason why I'm doing this, if I would just go straight in there with my goat kefir, it would start to get little kernels kind of. It sort of separates, and that's what I don't want. So this way I've got it used to it, to the heat. I'm just going to put this right in here. This is so good already. Now I haven't even tasted it. I'm going to do this right now. So you see the consistency of the soup. It also gets thicker as you heat it up overnight, if you leave this overnight. But you can add some more stock that you have on hand. Anyway, I'm going to give this a taste test now. What can I say? It's delicious. Now it just needs a little bit more salt, just a touch. Potatoes soak up a lot of salt, and I'm going to give it some pepper. I always put the pepper in the end. That'll give it really the aroma of it. And I don't want to puree this up, as I mentioned. We're just going to leave this for a couple of minutes on low heat, and then we can ready to serve it. So here we are, a beautiful, beautiful potato soup, fit for the whole family. Of course, you can make a lot more and freeze it. Make a big pot, and you always have an awesome soup. You can put some sausage in there, ham in there, anything you like. The most important thing about the soup is that it is made from scratch. There are no chemical, no additives. It's just all natural. Remember that when you cook with Fearless. Remember to be fearless in your kitchen. We'll see you next time.